sealed, 100 nail holes. So we're looking at
A little more of a pain in the ass.
yeah. And then this shingle's lapped all the way over here. I can pull that off if you want.
I would want to show that.
Yeah. And if we're just doing this slope, manufacturer says that my underlayment needs to be tied under these shingles.
Okay. And so, let me ask you this.
Yep.
If you were to come over, because I've seen guys do this, and just come down to this shingle, right? Because this is the last one to go, well, not the last one, but it goes on after this one, right? You start down there and you come up. So if you went down to here, what would be the problem?
With what, underlayment?
However, the whole extent of the job, like if you're just doing that slope and you wrap the ridge a little bit, but not all the way down, how has that become a problem?
Are you saying wrap the shingles or the underlayment over that side?
Both.
Okay. Shingles are fine, but all the shingles I'm taking off, I'm not reusing.
Right.
So what am I going to put in place if I can't get them?
Okay, so the issue there is just a matching issue.
Well, it's not matching necessarily. This color shingle is out there. It's not a matching issue, it's a compatibility issue. So we've got to use compatible products, another building code.
And
so we can't.
What do you mean by compatibility? Like one asphalt is different from another?
No, shingles are not universal. So all shingle manufacturers have proprietary lengths, widths, exposures. Ooh, I stood up too fast. Exposures.
That's always a good one.
Nail steel strips placement.
Yeah.
Right. So if you get a bigger shingle, that
moves
sealant strip, they won't align, so they won't seal down properly. The sealant strip patterns and the sealant strip technologies are also proprietary. So when those are
right,
bonding,
but I mean, arguably, when you put the new shingles over, you can put a better sealant than what this roof has. It should be better, and if not, you can add sealant, right?
what kind of shingle are you saying to replace on this side?
Whatever is out there, let's just assume that a shingle exists that's the right dimension. Right?
Okay.
Because more or less, you really just don't want the channels lining up. That's your big problem. The slots, right? So if one's a little bigger, it's the whole row all the way across. So they're all going to butt up to each other still. They're not going to overlap side to side.
Yeah.
So if they fit that way, that should be the only geometry problem, right? Because you can control the exposure, because any new shingle you put in, this shingle's exposure is controlled only by the one above it, not below it. So if the one below it is old, this is new, and this is new, the exposure level is controlled, so your only issue is then the width of the shingle geometry-wise, and then the sealant strip.
Well, so I mean, let's talk about it, because some of these shingles, if I were to line up the exposure to be at the bottom, it'll put the sealant strip up higher, so then it won't align with the shingle above it.
Okay.
And then, so let's say the top two rows, I do go find a shingle. I can't use a laminate shingle, right? The manufacturer is not going to let me get away with that. I got to follow manufacturer specs. This building code says that I have to. So I can't just find any old shingle, and then let's say that I find some pre-tab shingles laying around, then we do go back to the matching subject, even though that's not the root issue here.
Right, and then that's just an aesthetic.
It is
or
an aesthetic,
geometry.
and this is a business, so reasonable appearances are expected.
Okay. I wasn't sure, because when you mentioned the R in the building code, that's the residential. So I was like, is this a group home?
That's for commercial jobs, so it's not just for residential.
Okay.
The IRC is
they're
building.
very similar. I just, when you said that, I was like, oh, I thought this was a commercial business.
No.
So it threw me off. That's all.
Same codes, different letters, but so let's say you were to find the shingle and it's not the exact color and the exact dimensions, reasonable appearance is expected, because it didn't have mismatched colors up here before, right?
Okay.
So the deal with the insurance company is to put them in pre-loss.
So then that's an aesthetic issue for the insurance carrier.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not.
That didn't exist prior.
I'm not an artist. You know what I mean? They didn't call me out here for companies. Well, I shouldn't say I'm not an artist, because art can be anything, right?
It's very subjective.
Art,
People do.
especially the copy
You want me to open up this side and show the rest of the overlap?
Yeah.